The priests step into the water first. The Jordan is at flood stage, banks overflowing. The moment their feet touch the river, the water stops, piled up in a heap miles upstream. 2 million people cross on dry ground. Again. Day 58. Dry ground. Joshua 3:5. 40 years ago they crossed the Red Sea. Walls of water on either side, Pharaoh's chariots behind them. The whole nation walking through on dry ground. The generation that crossed the Red Sea is gone. Every last one of them died in the wilderness. Their children grew up hearing the story, but never living it. Until today. The Jordan parts for the sons and daughters of the Red Sea generation. God does it again. Same miracle, new audience. So that every nation on earth will know the hand of the Lord is powerful, and so that Israel will always fear him. Joshua tells the people, consecrate yourselves. Tomorrow the Lord will do amazing things among you. He tells the priests, take up the Ark of the Covenant and pass on ahead of the people. The Ark goes first, the people follow at a distance, about 1,000 yards behind, far enough back that everyone can see it, far enough back that there is no mistaking what is leading them. This is the moment. This is where 40 years of wilderness ends and the promise begins. The Jordan is at flood stage. It is not a gentle crossing. The banks are overflowing. The current is running hard. This is not a river you wade across. The priests carrying the ark walk to the edge. They step in. The moment the soles of their feet touch the water, the flow stops. The water coming down from upstream piles up in a heap a great distance away, near a town called Adam. The water flowing down toward the Dead Sea is completely cut off. The riverbed is dry. The priests walk to the middle of the Jordan and stand there, on dry ground, holding the ark, while the entire nation crosses, all 2 million of them, on dry ground, while the priests stand in the middle of a stopped river holding the covenant of God. When the last person has crossed, God tells Joshua, tell the priests to come up out of the Jordan. The moment their feet touch the far bank, the water returns. The Jordan floods its banks again, just as before. The crossing is complete. Before the priests come out of the riverbed, Joshua calls 12 men forward, one from each tribe. Each man reaches down and picks up a stone from the middle of the Jordan, from where the priests are standing. From the dry ground where a flooded river used to be, 12 stones, carried to the camp at Gilgal. Joshua sets them up there, and he tells the people exactly why. When your children ask, and they will ask, what do these stones mean? Tell them. The flow of the Jordan was cut off before the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord. When it crossed the Jordan, the waters of the Jordan were cut off. These stones are a memorial to the people of Israel forever. 12 stones from a dry riverbed. So the children will ask. So the story gets told. So what God did today lives in the next generation and the generation after that. Joshua also sets up 12 stones in the middle of the Jordan itself, right where the priests stood. They are still there, the text says. At the time of writing, you could look down into the water and see them. The river swallowed the miracle. The stones remained. When all the kings west of the Jordan hear about it, the Amorite kings, the Canaanite kings along the coast, their hearts melt. There is no longer any courage in them. Word travels faster than armies. The Jordan stopped. Israel crossed. What kind of God does this for a people? The kind you do not want to fight. Israel camps at Gilgal on the eastern border of Jericho. And God tells Joshua, make flint knives. Circumcise the Israelites again. The generation that left Egypt had been circumcised. But everyone born in the wilderness, 40 years of children, had not. The sign of the covenant had not been given to an entire generation. The generation that left Egypt had been circumcised, but everyone born in the wilderness, 40 years of children, had not. The sign of the covenant had not been given to an entire generation. They had been wandering, homeless, in between. The covenant mark belongs to a settled people with a future. Now they have one. Joshua circumcises them. Every male, the whole nation waits at Gilgal while they heal. God says, today I have rolled away the reproach of Egypt from you. That is what Gilgal means. Rolling, Egypt is done. The shame of slavery is done. The 40 years of consequence are done. The generation that was born in the in-between now bears the mark of the covenant. They belong to God. They are in the land. They are home. They keep the Passover. On the 14th day of the month, on the plains of Jericho, For the first time in the land, the day after the Passover, they eat from the produce of the land, unleavened bread, roasted grain, food that came from the ground they are standing on. And the manna stops. The morning after they eat from the land, no manna. The next morning, no manna. The thing that appeared every morning for 40 years, without a single exception, that fed 2 million people in a desert where nothing grows, that tasted like wafers made with honey. Gone. Just like that. They don't need it anymore. The land is feeding them now. God provided exactly what they needed for exactly as long as they needed it. Not 1 day more. Not 1 day less. The wilderness provision ends the moment the land provision begins. Joshua is near Jericho. He looks up. A man is standing in front of him with a drawn sword in his hand. Joshua walks toward him. Are you for us or for our enemies? Neither. But as commander of the army of the Lord, I have now come. Joshua falls face down to the ground. What message does my Lord have for his servant? Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy. Joshua does it. The same command God gave Moses at the burning bush. Take off your sandals. Holy ground. The same posture required. The same God. Present in a different form. With a different man, at the edge of a different impossible task. Moses met God at a bush in the wilderness. Joshua meets him outside the walls of Jericho. Neither of them asked for the meeting. Both of them fell on their faces when it happened. God is already here. He was here before Joshua arrived. The commander of the Lord's army does not show up to help Israel's plan. He shows up to replace it. The river is behind them. The covenant mark is on them. The manna is gone. The land is feeding them. And outside Jericho, the commander is waiting. The battle hasn't started yet. The outcome is already decided. Tomorrow, 7 days, 7 priests, 7 trumpets, 1 march around the walls. Once a day, 7 times on the 7th day. And then the shout. And then the walls. See you then.